Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very blessed to be with you guys today. Um, Bless God for this Saturday, the 22nd of January 2022. God bless you for joining us today. We want to extend our thanks to each and every one of you for joining us on our platform. This is the Action Required Media. Let's Talk Liberia. And we are here to discuss national issues that are of concern. And so we want to bless God that we can be here. To just remind you, this platform will discuss national issues from a biblical perspective. We actually want to reach all of you God's children to get interested in the happenings in your country, whether it is political, social, entertainment, whatever that is. We want you to get some interest in the things that are happening in our country. I'm talking about Liberia. So we want to bless God that you are able to join us for us to talk about these uh, national issues that happen in our country. But today, our discussion going to take a different trend because of what happened recently in our country, specifically in the borough of Newcrutine, with um, the crusade that uh, led 29 people dead. We want to focus on that today. There are other uh, trending national issues that we would have loved to talk about because of the importance and the severity of of what happened recently. We really, really want to discuss this this issue. So we want to thank you for joining us today. Let me welcome my co-host, Minister Jesse Kroma. Minister Kroma, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dr. Wallo. How you doing yourself?
Bless God. I'm doing very, very great. I Although I'm doing fine, but I'm here with a heavy heart
Yeah, yeah.
with what happened recently in Liberia that took the lives of 29 of our citizens.
Hmm.
And I consider them to be God's children, you know. And I think every Liberian that followed the story, that got that information, whether in Liberia or in the diaspora, it was a shocking, shocking incident that happened, and it is a national disaster. And
Yeah.
so I'm here today with a heavy heart. And to just come back to you, I want to say that on behalf of our team, the Action Require Media, and Let's Talk, we want to extend our profound condolences to the families that were affected by this national tragedy. We are in prayers with you, and we want you to know that God is not absent from this that happened. It would be difficult to be dealt with. There will be moment of discouragement, but we want you to know that God has always been involved, and He will not desert His own when you need Him the most. So we are here praying with you, praying with all of you, and we know that God going to see each and every one of you through. But we are actually in sympathy with you. Yeah. So, Minister Kroma, I'm doing great, but I'm saddened by what happened recently.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was very touched when I first heard the news. I was fortunate to. I actually got the message from a friend in Liberia who shouted to me. As a matter of fact, you know him, Stevens. Yeah, he's currently in Liberia, and he woke me up, like called me, and my man, this has happened, and I was like, wow, you know. But we are starting about it. I just want to join you in echo our profound, condolences to the family, to the bereaved family. Uh, you know, I mean, people went to praise God. People went to worship. Never knew that they would go to meet the, should I say, untimely death, and it happened. But you see, in as much as I'm heavy hearted right now, my one of my consolation is that, for me, and just to see, what better place to even go and give up your last, your life. What a place, if it's not in the presence of God, doing what you do, that
Right.
is to praise your maker. And that's one of the things that has given me so much, consolation. But to the bereaved family, our hearts are with you. We are also praying with you, and we pray that, the right things are done from now on moving forward, so that and we also want to use this time as Action Required Media to also, if to say thank the office of the presidency, and the people of Liberia, for rallying around for the swift action that was taken. Yeah, I just want to leave that there for now.
Yeah, yeah, and that was one of that was the next thing that we were going to go to.
Yeah.
Who to thank,
Hmm.
who to thank, and you are 100% right. We have to recognize and acknowledge the swift involvement of the president of the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
The night it happened, that early morning, the president was at the scene. The president was
Yeah.
at the hospital to get first hand information of
Yeah.
what really happened, but to also put a face to his presence there for the
Yeah.
family to know that this tragedy is not just for the borough of Newton, it's not just
It's a
family
Liberian
tragedy, but
tragedy.
it's a national tragedy.
Yeah.
you know and it was important for the president to be there. So I want to extend our thanks to the president for showing that leadership
Yeah.
when his citizens needed him the most, and that is very important. And I also want to extend thanks to the Liberia Red Cross Society.
Mm.
The Liberia Red Cross did a fantastic job. The moment the incident happened, they were on the scene. They were able to coordinate, with their family for them to, putting family in touch with their loved ones, with their relatives, the people that survived. They were able to coordinate that, and they were also able to provide the psychological first aid
Mm.
to citizens that were in despair, that was confused, because that is a psychological shock for family members to leave home and only to go get news that they died. That is beyond believed, but the Labrador National Red Cross were able to provide the psychological first aid to families that needed it. And I think that was a true moment of
Yeah.
patriotism. And so I really want to recognize their effort, and I think that was timely and that was good. And I also want to extend thanks to the Redemption Hospital,
Yeah.
the staff
Yeah.
at Redemption Hospital. They also play their role brilliantly, perfectly, with the limited resources they have. They were able to take in all of the victims, including people, including the deceased, but they were very proactive in making sure that people that needed treatment, people that needed to be taken care of, were taken care of. And I think it was a remarkable movement. And so I want to extend thanks to Redemption Hospital. I also want to extend thanks to the people of the borough of Town, you know, that lended their support, that got involved, that did not shy away from the incident, that were involved to give information to the police, to the press, for us to be able to understand exactly what happened. You know, uh, I think everybody got involved, everybody played their part, and I just wanted to recognize, and everybody that were able to do something. And I was so proud by what I saw, and everything that we heard from the incident, uh, from the scene of the incident. And so, I just want to extend my thanks. And then finally, Minister Kruman, um, I want to, also extend thanks to the Spoon family,
Yeah.
most especially, uh,
CEO.
yeah, CEO,
Central.
Spoon.
Yeah.
Spoon Talk has been, they have been around for a very short time, but they have done some remarkable things, you know, and that's what we call leadership. CEO Stanton had led, Spoon Talk in a way that have never been seen before.
Mm.
And then with the fact that Spoon Talk will be spearheading the fundraiser for the victims' families, is beyond
Remarkable.
belief. It's a remarkable thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we all need to get involved in the fundraiser. We all need to play our part. These are Liberians. They need us. They need our support. They need us in any way that we can be of an existence. And so please, if you come across our video, we want you to please contact the Spoon family, make your contribution. No contribution is too little.
Yeah.
Every contribution going to help the family. While the Liberian government pledged to do some things for the family, we as Liberians
Yeah. We can
have
also
to
play our
show,
part.
we have to play our part as well. So I just wanted to, extend thanks to all of these people. It is good to see Liberians come together when we as a nation are faced with something like this. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say when it comes to giving thanks to people that deserve to
Yeah.
be thanked.
And just to further this conversation, one thing that has been playing on my mind, Dr. Wallow, is, first of all, I know people are saying, they blame as to who did it,
Well,
which,
Minister Command, before you go there, right? So this is what I want you to start from, if you can.
yeah,
Let's, for the sake of our viewers,
yeah,
let's begin with what really happened.
yeah.
Yeah. What did you hear from your sources?
Yeah, so like I said, I was my phone rang. My Guy on the other side said to me, "Say, oh my man, people, some folks just down D12 fee and Prophet Kroma also Abraham Kroma, I believe that's his name, carrying out this crusade, and I believe that a group of, I'm not going to label them, but group of guys, stump in or so try to get or rob the people or try to get the offering or whatnot, and in that process, the stampede, people try to get away, and in that stampede, in that process of that crowd, that mass of people trying to get away, that's when all these deaths occurred. But as far as to, and in the morning when I got up, I went to work from my office. I tried to make one or two phone calls to actually get the juice of the story, and the story is just different as to what really occurred. So I really don't haven't had that grasp as to really what happened yet, and I'm still trying to figure out. But meanwhile, I've been watching social media, and the stories are different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stories are different. One of the things I heard, uh, not too far from what you heard, but the piece that I'm going to add to that is that I think one of the disadvantaged youth
Hmm.
uh, took a cell phone from one of the ladies on the crusade ground,
Hmm.
then went into their ghetto or somewhere, and then one of the security to Apostle Abraham Kroma
Yeah.
took, the lady. I think the lady complained, of what have happened to her, and then he was an armed security. Okay, so took the lady to, where this guy that took the phone uh, was, and then I think there was some violent. Either the guy
Hmm.
was beaten,
Who,
shots were fired.
so now, so this disadvantaged youth who took the phone
Yeah,
ran away
he,
to his
he ran
ghetto,
away. Yeah, ran away to,
to his
yeah,
borough, or
yeah. I think
his area.
a place that they all can meet,
Yeah,
either a ghetto or somewhere.
the ghetto. Yeah.
So this security guy, I think the lady complained to him. So now he went with the lady to retrieve the phone. So when they got there, uh, eh, I think they saw the guy, and then because he had arm on him, okay, beat the guy, and I think shots were fired or the guy was beating.
So they beat this
The
the thief.
disadvantaged youth that took the
Yeah.
lady's phone.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
Because
the
he must
story.
have resisted or something.
Right, that was the story I was told.
Yeah.
Right. So now when the guy was beating, he now went to his friends and complained to his friends. So now they all came. So now his friends got angry. Why, he was beating, and then there was now a reinforcement. Right, there was this a reinforcement. So they all gather now with that anger of why their friend, this the security guard beat their friend, and so there was this reinforcement. Now they now came in a very huge and large numbers on the crusade ground, right? So apparently, when they got on the crusade ground, people were, I think, about leaving, right? They were about leaving. So when they got on the crusade ground, you know, then I think now there was a commotion now that happens. But we are Liberians. When something like that happens, we think about war. We think about you know some kind of a violence. So then people started running head scatter. And where the crusade was being held was a very narrow place. T12 feet. 12 feet is not like before. 12 feet is very, very narrow now. And so when that happens, people were trying to get away. People were trying to get away. everybody now, a place was, you know, was was full to capacity. A lot of people show up for the crusade. Now, in the mix of that, you know, people trying to get away, people are trying to survive, people are trying to get away from the crusade ground. So now people were just being stepped on, So that's what I was told happening. And because of the place being very narrow, very small, and with the crowd of people, you know, people were, just trying to get away now from the crusade ground. They were just stepping on other people and whatever. And so I was told that exactly what happened. Um, Again, I have to say that that was the information that I got from my sources.
Yeah.
I don't know how true and how factual that is. That a security guy, a security of Ibrahim Kroma went, to retrieve a phone in a ghetto and then beat this guy, and then they got reinforcement and they went on the crusade ground. I don't know how true that is, but that was the information that I got. Okay. When you look on Facebook, Minister Kroma, the story varies. So we're going to
Yeah.
get the actual story when the police, release, the
The
funding
investigative report.
their,
Yeah.
their investigation. But so far, that is what I heard, right? That happened.
But
Go ahead.
good. But overall, Dr. Wallo, it will surprise you that to know that the fear of God is not even there anymore. I mean, to some people, just the thought of going to a place where folks were worshiping, right, to carry on this act. I mean, where I don't know if you're trying to. There's no fear anymore. There's no fear, and the question now becomes who's to blame. What needs to be done to address these situations? Yes, it must have been these guys from the wherever they came from to do it, but something needs to be done. Some kind of rehabilitation. Something needs to be done, Dr. Wolo.
So, so yes, Minister Kroma. Now, that's a very important thought you just expressed. Well, I would not say who's to blame,
Mm-hmm.
right? I would say who is responsible.
Who is responsible? Yes, I agree.
Okay, who is responsible? Now, you know,
Mm.
people have said a lot of things on Facebook. Okay, but the first person that should be responsible is Apostle Abraham Krumah.
Yeah.
And the reason I said that is because that was his crusade. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just think
It
about
happened
it.
on his watch. Happened on his
That was
watch.
his crusade. Okay, that was his crusade. If you
Mm-hmm.
plan a program and anything wrong happens during that
You take the
program,
responsibility. Yeah.
you are held liable for it. Okay, you are you should take responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a lot of people want to blame disadvantaged youth. Okay, well, that is something we can talk about.
Yeah.
But the first person that should be responsible for this is the
Apostle
planners
Kruma.
of
Yeah.
the crusade. Okay, the planner of the crusade, and it's just logical because that was his program. Okay, now let's take for example, let's assume if this did not result into death, if it was Detour had a boss into,
Mm-hmm.
who Detour how are going to ask?
Yeah. The leadership of the
Detour,
school.
Detour, well, Detour, the administration of Detour High was not going to go after the people that broke into the school. They were going
Yeah.
to hold responsible the people that
Yeah.
use the
The
fee
school
that plan the
administration.
program.
Yeah.
The people that plan the program. They are the first people that should be responsible for what happened. That's why when you are planning a program of that magnitude, you have to take into consideration all of those things. Okay. Trying not trying not to identify people that should be responsible for it, and then shifting blame on on other people. I don't think is fair.
And
Yeah.
just to add to what you said, Dr. Wallo, if you will agree with me that crusades in Liberia, or gathering of that such, is very common. Not just Liberia, but Africa as a whole, where pastors will just assemble, whether it's permitted, whether they get permit to do it or not. Those are common things. Liberian people are people who, when it comes to their God business, you do not play with. I know we are looking at who's to blame, who's held liable for that, and this is a teachable or learnable moment that now moving forward, what needs to be done as far as gathering large crowds.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Apostle
Right.
Kroma needs to bear the responsibility, and from what I'm hearing, that he's cooperating. He's cooperating heavily with the LMP. But moving forward, this, as I can see,
Yeah.
is
That.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's according to information, he's cooperating with the investigation, which
Yeah.
of course is good. Okay. Um. You know, we all know, we have discussed so many times on the show
Hmm.
that we have, number one, a a drug problem in our country.
Yeah.
Okay. The use of illegal substance in our country is a huge problem. It's everywhere in every community. The thing, it, it, it is a serious problem. We know that.
It's a problem. It's a
We have
pandemic.
also discussed on this program that we have a serious mental health issues in our country.
Yeah.
We cannot continue to put those things off and thinking that they're going to resolve themselves or
On its
they're
own.
going to solve themselves. No, it's not going to happen. The more we keep silent on it, the more we don't do anything about the illegal use of substances in our country and mental health issues, we are going to have serious problems that are going to that's going to create a huge repercussion in our country. We have to be serious about the use of illegal substances and mental health in our country.
Yeah.
We have to get serious about that. And Minister Kroma, uh, we have talked seriously about that, right?
Yeah.
But that is another thing. My issue here is this, right? If you if you organize a program, and you are talking about crusade, crusades are common in Liberia.
Very common.
You
Very
plan,
common.
people plan crusades all the time. People plan crusades all the time. But this is what I know because I have had so many crusades myself in Liberia.
Yeah.
This is what I know. If you are planning a crusade in a particular community, and you know that community has a huge crime rate, you take extra repercussion,
Security
you
measures.
take extra steps for you to protect people that attend a crusade.
Mm.
You don't treat every situation or every program the
The
same,
same.
most
Yeah.
especially when you are going into a community that
With
is
high
less
crime.
safe,
Yeah.
high crime
Yeah.
areas. You take extra precaution, right? And I think that was not done in this
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, Nucrutan, okay?
Yeah.
You know Nukutan. I know Nukutan.
It's a rough
Nukutan is a
it's a rough
very
area.
it's a it's a very rough place.
Yeah.
Nukutan is a rough place. Brilliant, awesome, great people in Nukutan, but the crime rate in Nukutan is high.
Hmm.
So if you are planning a program of that magnitude, extra,
Extra measures need
you
to be
know,
taken. Yeah.
precaution needed to be taken, most especially as it relates to security.
And Dr.
And that
Waddle,
was not, and that was not
that
done.
that's a
Let me end with this,
go ahead,
Mr.
go ahead.
Coleman. What happened on D12 field? If it was in this country, the United States, what do you think was going to happen? Number one, every family are going to sue. Who were they going to sue?
Of course, the government.
They're going to sue the government.
Well, they will sue the organizer of that program first.
The
The-
organizer of the program.
yeah, and yeah, definitely they will sue the organizer of that program.
They will sue the organizers of the program.
Yeah,
Why? Because it is their program.
it's their
Anything that
program.
happened during that
They are
program
held
is their
liable.
responsibility.
Yeah.
To not identify that. I have read so many messages on Facebook. I've listened to so many people.
Mm,
Nobody have said that Apostle Abraham Kruman should be responsible for what
he
happened.
is. He is. It is his program. It
He should
happened
be
on his
responsible
watch.
for what happened.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
his program.
Yeah.
That is his program. So he should be the very first person that should take responsibility of this. Now, I listened to their press release, that ex- extending condolences to the family, and what of that. The action that was taken
Mm.
when the incident occurred that night did not tell me that he felt that he was responsible for it.
Wow.
The action that was taken when it happened that night, you know, and people trying to defend it, people trying to defend it. Oh no, you talk about a
Because
man
I
of
heard
God,
he got
you
in
are
his car
talking
and left.
against God. Of course, of
I heard
course,
why he waited for a while after
of
then he
course.
got in his car and took off.
They were trying to protect instruments and cars when people's lives were in danger, people's lives were at stake.
Hmm.
This is something that should have never happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Uh, Minister Kramer, let you come in,
You you you
but
you know. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I didn't think of it up until you made mention of it. That yes, the organizer, because you and myself, just the reference you made, you and myself, we gathered together a group of people to organize something, and if anything should go wrong within that period of time, you and myself will be held liable for that. So it is just the right thing to do. And I didn't listen to Apostle Kroma's press conference, but what I thought he would have said is, first, I bear responsibility for this, at least to let the people know that, yeah, it happened on your watch, regardless of the consequences, right? But at the same time, just to push this further, um,
Everybody blaming Zokos. Everybody
you
blaming
cannot,
Zokos.
and that's where
Everybody blaming Zokos.
yeah. And that's why I really want to stress on, because you were talking about the drug issue, you were talking about this national pandemic, as far as this drug that is being flowing, infested into our country, right? But Dr. Waller is also surprised. What is the government doing about these things? Because I'm not just talking about the we are led government, but even the governments before this current administration. They come into office, because now, mind you, Dr. Wallo, and not to defend this act, but half of what these guys are, as people label them to be, these Zokos, right? Where these are product of war, civil war, and officers come, presidents come into office, promise that, oh, they will address this issue, and these same guys go and vote for them. Some of these same guys are used to carry on dirty works for some of these government officials. It's been there, it's been in the news and whatnot.
Look,
So I
Minister
want to
Kuman,
also blame, I want to also blame in this manner the government of Liberia, be it George Weah's led government or the previous. They failed the people as well. You know.
uh, Minister Nathaniel McGill
Yeah.
was on a spoon talk.
I heard him.
You
Yeah.
did hear him, and he said he said the well, for people to understand, I'm going to say it the way it was described. He
Yeah.
said the Zoko problem
Mm-hmm.
is not just now. It's not just today problem. It's a problem that it's a problem that happened from the war.
Yes. Exactly.
Right now, come on now, come on now. We cannot continue to talk about what other people did not do.
Right.
You are now in power. The ball is now in your
In your
court.
hands.
This is the problems the country have for which they gave you the
Yeah.
opportunity to serve.
Yeah.
You are now the administration. Forget about what other people did not do. Yes, we know that the Zoko problem, as they put it, is is a result of our civil
Long.
crisis.
Yeah.
But what are we going to do about it?
Hmm.
What can we do about this? Is something that everybody knows that needs to be addressed. Dishing out money to these children is not a solution. Not saying anything about it is not a solution. It has to be addressed intentionally. With
Intentionally.
number one,
Very, very intentional. Yeah.
there has to be treatment for these children. In fact, giving them give giving them or putting them into
The
a
rehab
professional
rehabilitation
school,
center.
or that is not a solution, because the first thing they need treatment.
They need treatment. Yeah. They
They
need
need to
rehabilitation.
be treated, and not providing treatment for them, and we want to act as if all is well. All is not well, Minister Kruma. All is not well.
All is
Because
not.
let me tell you something. Let me say this. The people we call Zokos, they are a reflection of the problems we have in our country.
Hmm.
Okay, the Bible says,
Hmm.
if we cannot take care of the least among us, we have not done it for God.
Hmm.
Today, they have become the least among us. What have we done? Abandon them.
Yep.
Minister Kroma, it is like one of your sons, right?
Yeah.
You did not prepare him. You did not coach him. You
Yeah.
did not train him. You did not give him anything to build a good foundation for him, but you expect him to succeed in life.
To
And if he
succeed.
does not succeed in life, and you blame him for failing.
No. I take
That's
the
how we
blame.
treat the people we call Zokos.
Yeah.
These children needs help. What have
Hmm.
we done? Have we provided the help? No. We want them to be productive citizens when we have not given them the help for them to become productive. Look, The day you go to Liberia, try and sit down with these children and talk to them. Very intelligent kids.
No, which I did,
They
which I
just have substance abuse issues and mental health issues. They do. They are just struggling. They are struggling with a disease. They are struggling with a disease that is very hard to fight.
and
Come the
and
nation is now going to call it. They need treatment. This issue needs to be addressed intentionally. It needs to be addressed nationally. And look, Minister Kramer, look at our national budget. What do we have there for mental health? What do we have there for substance abuse use? Nothing.
nothing.
When you look at the Ministry of Health budget, I think I stand to be correct. I think $15,000 allocated
Yeah,
for 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 I think counseling or for substance abuse. $15,000.
nothing.
We are not serious.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are saying just a pay for a senator's pay is equated to helping mass group of folks who need a long-term healing process.
And I tell
That's
you the
that's
truth.
a joke.
Minister Kman, I tell you the truth. I tell you the
A
truth.
joke.
After the kids are buried, we'll move on.
Oh yeah,
We'll come back to
it's
discuss
a
this again
forgotten
when
it's a
something else
forgotten story.
happens. We will come back to discuss this issue they call the Zoko problem when something else happened. But what are we doing? We are not solving the problem. Minister Maget is saying it's a problem from the war. It's not going to be solved overnight. But what are you doing? What are the initiatives you are taking to solve this problem? We need a permanent solution to this. Blaming Zoko is not going to solve it. There has to be a national plan. There has to be a rallying of national government. National government have to get involved
You
in drafting a plan to address this thing they call the Zoko problem. I don't see it as a Zoko problem. I see it as a national government's problem.
it
The
is
government has a problem. These children are only reflecting what the problems are in our country. They
in
are
our
a
country.
true reflection of our society.
And
And when we
just to
abandon them, we are not doing anything. We are not doing well for ourselves. Go ahead.
just to piggyback from what I was saying earlier, um, if this government means well and is intentional of about solving this issue, this is a perfect opportunity. You know, tragedies that occurred in a country or anywhere, right? Also serve as an opportunity for you to now do the right thing, because this issue of drugs in our country, Dr. Waller, you agree with me, like you rightly said, this is issue we've been talking about day in and day out, and up until today nothing. I don't know, maybe it's behind the scene, but things that you are doing, if we don't see it as to you working towards that issue, then for me it's nothing being done. This issue of drugs, Dr. Wallow, we talk about it. We've talked about it. It's going on 4 or 5 years now on this government. Because I'm putting the blame on this government now, and there's nothing seems to be done. As a matter of fact, the influx of drugs in our country is even more. So now I heard,
And that is a sad reality.
it is,
That is a
and
sad reality that we cannot solve our own problems effectively. We want to expect other people to come and solve our own
yeah,
problems. That's
yeah,
it, that's a sad reality. But I don't also want us to lose, track on the fact that 29 people died.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
29 people
who
died
just want to just praise, folks who just wanted to
just
just go and be a part of,
just show up
yeah,
at a place that's supposed to be safe. You know, if crusades grounds are not safe
animal.
for people to attend, where are we going?
Hmm.
Where are we headed to as a nation? The places that we consider to be safe places, if those places are no longer saved, where are we headed to?
Yeah.
I heard so many people, on social media talking about, uh, for pastors to ask, to put in for permit before they can have crusades and what of that. When something like this happen, uh, the 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 people tried to respond in anger. So I understand why people will say things like that. You know, but even Minister
Hmm.
Kroma, for the sake of the conversation,
Yeah.
even if Apostle Kroma were to ask for a permit,
Yeah.
that was not going to prevent what happened.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we still have the Zoko problem. We still have that.
And not only that, we still have we. I'm sorry here about for viewers. We still have the Zogo problem, Dr. Wallow. But even like you said, even if he was to be granted or if he was given a permit, where is the security? Now let's assume that he got the permit, and you don't have that much security. Like you have, if you have thousands of people at a crusade, how much security can you get from the city of from the LMP? How much will they give you? So if a situation of this magnitude occurs, it will just be a run over on the police again. So the the strategic thinking, the where the government has to put its hat on as far as trying to find a solution to this, it's a big one. It's a big one, and I can almost see that the way of worship publicly in Liberia is going to change because of this issue. I can see that changing,
Yeah. And Apostle Kroman, you know, thought it befitting for him to have gotten security for himself,
but
but
not,
no
yeah.
security for attendees of his program.
Hmm.
You know, and the way the
It's
look
sad.
the way we treat our people, the way we treat our people, sometimes it put tears in my eyes.
Mhm. No value,
The way we treat our people.
no value that
You he Apostle Kuman knows that he needed security to
for him,
be there,
for him.
but it did not occur to say, well, the people that are coming to my crusade also need security.
Yeah,
Okay. And people want to blame, Zoko, when we know that we have a Zoko problem.
problem. This is there.
The fact that you know that you have a Zoko problem should caution you to put security measures into place
Yeah, for the people.
for the
Yeah,
people. For the people. What happened shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Minister Kruma, it was on this platform we were talking about the lady that graduated from the LU and had generator in her house,
Yes.
and then she and her entire family died.
8 others. Yeah.
It was on the platform. We talk about that. We already have a very small population, and we allowed our people to die in masses with no safety measures in place, none at all. And then when it happened, we become reactive to that. Now everybody going to get on social media and, and talk.
Yeah.
But believe me, a week from now, nobody going to say anything
and
about the
and
Zoko problem.
and and,
Not going to say anything about it.
and that's where, for me, I would really want us here, especially as Action Require a company, that if for the last for the next month, and I'm gonna I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me? Yeah, and I'm just saying that it's for the next month that we are going to appear. We should touch on this issue, because this is just going to be another story, like you said. After the next week, something else happens. This tragedy will be forgotten.
Oh, but
It will be forgotten. It'll be
that's how we always
behind.
treat issues like this. It's going to be another story. Okay, it's going to be another story. It's going to be another story. Okay, I don't want to be strong tonight. I am reserving a lot of comments because this is a very sensitive time now for the families that are affected by this, and
Give me one
so
second, Doctor. Give me 1 second.
maybe as we continue to talk about this, I going to share mine full assessment of what have happened on the D12 uh, Memorial High School field, because this was not to happen. And so people that are supposed to be responsible, that are supposed to take responsibility of this incident, need to do that. Um, and we have to hold people accountable for you know when things like this happen, because we are talking about 29 people, 29 people, not forgetting about others that were injured in the process, right? Some people sustain a very, very, very bad injuries. Some people, others minor injuries, but you know, uh, just think about the psychological shock that is going on with people that were on that crucial ground. Even though they did not sustain physical injuries, but think about the psychological issues that they are going to develop as a result of the shock, that that they went through, knowing that uh, people that were in the mix, 29 of them died. Some of them came very close to death. There will be psychological, you know, things that are going to happen to people that were on that crusade ground. So let us not just talk about the physical wounds. Okay. Also know that a lot of people going to be traumatized. A lot of the people going to be traumatized, and Apostle Kroma needs to be held responsible for that.
Yeah.
He needs to send these people to professionals. He needs to take responsibility of that. While Liberians in the diaspora and in Liberia and everywhere are doing everything for the affected families, but he needs to be responsible for some of these things because a lot of people, I'm telling you, if it were in other countries, they were going to sue him and
Oh
he
yeah,
was going to pay a lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of money, because every individual that got affected on that night was going to hire a lawyer,
oh yeah,
and they all were going to sue him. Now, thank God, Liberians, we don't do that, and that's why he need to come forward with some money, some good money
yeah.
to take care of these people, some
It
good
needs to.
money. He need to come forward with that. Let us not pretend around it. He is responsible for what happened. Yes, that was his program. So he need to come up with some good money for these people to be taken care of. Because the physical wounds are there, but the psychological wounds are also there, and I don't want us to forget that. So, Minister Kramer, for you, time if I spent,
Yeah.
what can we learn?
Well, I learned that for each time this tragedy of this magnitude occurs, and that's something that has been almost a trend, a pattern of doing things where when one issue occurs, another issue occurs, it suppresses the one that we were dealing with, But just to add, shortly before we get off here, I was watching a clip where the LMP, the chief of police of
Patrick Sulu?
Patrick Sulu was saying that he's declaring war against the Zokos. I hope he knows what he's saying, because you declaring war against your citizens, instead of trying to find a solution as to why they are like that. Instead of that, you are saying you declare war. And it's a video. I will look for it and send it to you. When I heard, I was so disturbed that the chief of police will come on air and say that you will declare war. It's time to declare war. I mean, these are, at the end of the day, regardless, Dr. Waller, they are Liberians. They are our citizens. One of the last things I would not want to see another Liberian die again. Despite,
Minister Kramer, the people don't have no solution to the problem.
you see,
So what they're going to do is they're going to abuse the
abuse
people
that,
they call Zokos.
and that would be
Because that's
wrong.
what they are good. That's what they are good
That would be
for.
wrong.
Okay? They
You
don't
know,
have no solution to the problem. They
so that would
don't.
be very wrong. It's a perfect opportunity for this government to take advantage of this situation in correcting the way this government wants to be seen in the eyes of especially Liberians around the world. Because our people, like you said, you said something very profound, that Liberians, there's almost like no value. There's no value when it comes to just us looking at ourselves as Liberians. There's no value. And so anybody can treat anybody anyhow, because they've been going scot free in the past. So the tendency of this case to die, it's just another noise in the market. It's gonna go away. It's gonna die. But then what happened with those 29 people, families Dr. Wallo, it will surprise you. I was listening to one of these news, and I understood that two young fellows or two young girls or two young boys that was at this crusade that died. Two of the casualties, right? The parents did not even know that they were at this crusade.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know how sad it is. You probably thought your kid is around the neighborhood somewhere, and only to find out they went and died, and you did not know how sad it is. So it's if the government will not take advantage of this, what if it were one of their kids, government officials, just what if they'll be all over the place. But you and myself can see what this guy who whose daughter was raped in the hands of the ambassador in Nigeria. Well, I mean, in the hands in that consulate office. What has been done? What is being done about it? It's another story again. If this cannot be addressed the right way, this is going to fail. This is going to show a big dent on the presidency of Liberia, of George Weah, regardless of him showing up at the crime scene or whatnot, or at the hospital, which I must commend him for. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. He needs to now say, you know what? This is where my legacy must start from. If it means well for the people,
Yeah.
if it means well for the people, that's where he needs to start from.
And Minister Kruma, I was just thinking about, what you
Mm,
said about the Inspector General,
yeah.
saying that
Oh
he's
yeah.
going to declare war on Zocos.
Oh, Zokos.
What more war do Zocos need? They are
I know.
already fighting their own battles.
Hmm.
They are fighting battles with addiction.
Emotional,
They
psychological.
are fighting battles with mental health issues. They are fighting battles with rejection. They are
Mm.
fighting back. They are fighting so many battles. What other war do you want to declare on these people? What other war do you want to declare on them?
I mean, for police to even want to get on national platform to
Because
be uttering that, what's
Minister
the
Kumar,
fear?
they don't understand the nature of what they are dealing with. These people have no clue. They have no idea of what is going on in the country.
This is sad, Dr. Water. It's sad. It's sad.
They have no clue. Let me tell you something. Here in this country, in the United States, police are trained
Hmm.
to be able to deal with mental health people.
Yeah.
Do you think the Liberian police are trained for that? No, they are not. So they don't understand the nature of mental health. They don't understand the nature of substance use disorder. They don't understand that. So he put out this reckless statement to look strong.
Yeah.
Okay, but that actually exposed him of being a very ignorant and weak police
Very
director.
ignorant. I would have used another word, but for
Okay,
the sake of our viewer, very ignorant.
what other world the children need? What other world do they need? They are already fighting external and internal battles.
Yeah.
What they need, police director, is help. This is a cry for help. They need help.
And don't
They
use
need
this to
help.
to 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 secretly kill our brothers and sisters regardless of the situation. Do not use this opportunity for you to go carry on secret killing, or to go carry on attacks on them, thinking you are trying to solve this issue that occurred. No, we will bring you we'll bring your foot to the fire, and you will answer questions for that. Mr. I'm forgetting his name. I guess it's not even important.
Yeah, it's just so no, I'm just thinking about that. You know about honorable police director, please don't do that. These children don't need war. They need treatment.
Not anymore.
They don't need war. They have been affected by war. They have been rejected by their national government. They have been rejected by their families, their communities.
A society.
They
Yeah.
have been rejected in society. They don't need no more war. They need help. They need treatment. And that is what we should be discussing. Not waging war on them, not declaring war on them. Okay, not
Mm.
declaring war on them. They need to be treated. So something else I want us to learn though, Minister
Yeah.
Kroma, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that we should be able to talk about this issue moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
we have exhausted talking about it.
Yeah.
Something else that I think we need to learn, you know, if Apostle Chroman's security are armed security, I want to know who provided,
Yes.
the license
Yeah, the
for
training.
their arms and the training
The
for the
training.
arms
Yeah.
they have. I want to know that.
Yeah.
Is the
I agree.
is the police aware that Apostle Kurman has armed securities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are questions that need to be answered.
Because yes, of course, you can go into that huge crowd of people with armed securities that are not trained.
Yeah.
No, you can. I really want to know that. And I'm
And,
hoping that journalists can ask the police that.
and you know, you never know. This might open a whole different investigation for the bishop himself, apostle himself. Because if you have a security, let's assume that he's licensed or he's trained, but does Liberia have a private security? Well, I don't know, maybe yeah, but
Well,
where people can go and contract.
yes, I think they have private securities, but I don't know
Okay,
whether those private securities are armed securities. And
well, there must be.
if you have a private armed securities, what are the protocols that need to be followed? Were those
Yeah,
protocols followed? Were those people well trained?
because
Are
this
they licensed to carry arms with them? Because that's Liberia.
yeah.
Okay, people take advantage of the law
Mm-hmm.
and just do anything. Okay, so that's something that I really want to know.
And you know, Dr. Wallow, just quickly here, you know what you just said. Like I said earlier, it will open a big investigation on our apostle, because this guy, somebody complained about his phone being stolen, and or your security. Let's assume that, yeah, like you said, our armed security went follow to retrieve, and whatever chaos that occurred there happened. But let's now look, had he not gone there, so then
So
our people wouldn't be.
that is my issue. If
Yes,
it's a
it's an issue.
trained security personnel,
Hmm.
securities are not mandated to issue an arrest.
No, you're
Call the
not.
police.
Call the police.
Call the police. That is not your job.
Call the police.
Call the police. What
Yeah.
if that information is true?
Hmm.
It was the police that's supposed to have done that.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was the police that's supposed to have done that.
You
Not
don't have that right as a
no,
private
you
security to
no,
go arrest
you
any
don't.
citizen
You
on.
don't. But because maybe because he has arm on him.
Yeah. So he had a
So
right.
yeah, so he's the man.
Yeah.
I'm the man. I can do whatever I want to do. I have arms.
Hmm.
No, no. That's not what they call the rule of law in a country. So that is something that I really want to know. I really
Apostle Kuma needs to answer questions. And like I said, there was not the first crusade he had within a week or so. I understand one of the crusades somewhere else he had a mass crowd of almost similar magnitude of this same magnitude. Even though that was somewhat peaceful, but you know the tendency of this apostle having crowd, you know, people gravitate towards this guy, but I don't know if he thought it wise to say, you know what, I'm good at bringing the people. Let me try to see how best we can start to protect them when they are here. But you know, it's all about, I don't want to say, but and not to judge him in any way. Let the Lord take his course. But I
yeah,
believe that this is going to open a very good investigation on even the apostle.
yeah. And then another thing I want to say is that for and this is to all pastors. If you are having a program an outdoor event in communities that you know that are less safe, please reach out to the police. The same way you respect your life, respect other people's lives.
Yep.
Okay. Security is important. If it is important for you, it should also be important for the people that are going to attend your program.
Yep.
And when anything happens in your program, take responsibility for it. Don't shift blames. Take responsibility. Take, take responsibility for it because that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
That's the right thing to do. And finally, tonight, what I think we need to learn, one of the things finally for me tonight that we need to learn from the incident that happened uh, on D12 field is this here, Minister Kroma. If you take little children to a crusade ground, please don't leave them unattended.
Mm. Yeah.
Make sure you take care of your children. Make sure you keep them close to yourself. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
It's sad, Doc. Sad. Yeah.
Why will you carry little children to a crusade ground and you leave them unattended?
Yeah.
Where were the ushers? Why were the ushers not saying, you know, why were the ushers not taking care of these kids? Or trying to tell the parents you have to take care of your children? Look, this was something that shouldn't have happened.
You shouldn't have.
No, no, it shouldn't have happened at all, at all. But we will continue to talk about it, Minister Kroma.
Let's
We'll
do.
wait
Let's
for
do.
the police investigation for them to release their findings. You know, we are looking forward to knowing what exactly happened, how it happened, why it happened, and all of the things that we need to know from this incident and how we can prevent it from happening again. I'm looking forward to us having those discussions
Yeah.
moving forward. But it is my prayer that God going to provide consolation for everyone impacted by this incident. Everyone impacted by this incident. I know that Apostle Kroma himself might also be impacted by this. We pray for everybody, but he need to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. 29 persons died. It is sad. It is really, really sad. It is sad. That would be my closing to the Minister Kroma. It is sad.
Well, I just want to join you to say, again, I would just thank the president that for his swift action that he took, but the ball don't stop there. He should even work harder to make sure that the perpetrators are brought to book, and also that his chief of police should not take this as a way of trying to go back against our citizens. There's a whole lot that needs to be done. And I believe if the right thing is done, it reflects on the government. If the bad thing is done, it will also reflect on the government. And overall, I just want to use this time and this platform here uh, uh, to just thank the people of New Crew Town as well, the borough, and Liberian at large. That we are people, we are really resilient people. We are people who we care about each other. I pray that we continue the love that we show around, especially the bereaved family, that it shouldn't stop, let it continue. that one man's tragedy is everybody's tragedy. That's how we should approach it. And together, I believe that God is going to be with us all. Let us keep on loving God. This shouldn't deter you from going to church. This shouldn't stop you from serving your God. This shouldn't suppress your hunger for God. But rather that this Christian walk we are in is an oath. It's almost like getting into marriage is for better or for worse. When worse come, you do not reject your spouse or a partner. When the better come, we all celebrate. I just want to leave us that let us even hold even more closer to the arms of God, and God will do His thing when He's ready. I want to thank you, Dr. Waller. I want to thank the viewers as well. Also, I'm gonna just give a brief apology. My camera, my phone been shaking and phone calls been coming in, but I want to thank you, Dr. Waller, for hosting this beautiful show.
Thank you, Minister Kumar. And let me say that, let me just add to what you said briefly, that uh, this or what happened on D12 is not a failure of God.
Mm-mm.
It's a result of man's negligence. So your God has not failed you.
No, no way.
Men failed to take into consideration what they needed to do. And so uh, don't feel discouraged. Go to church with your head held high
Yes, raise high.
and know that your God cannot fail.
Mhm.
He cares about you and he loves you, each and every one of you. He has not failed. He does not fail.
It does not.
Okay. And so the Lord going to see us through this as a country, and for all of the families impacted by this, God going to see you through. He will provide the strength you need. He will provide the money you need to lay your loved ones to rest. And the Lord will see us through. The Lord will see us through this, this huge, huge disaster. And so thank you. Uh, have a great service tomorrow. Let's keep praying for each other. Let's keep the bereaved families in our prayers, and let us pray for our government to take the appropriate actions to help our disadvantaged youth. Let us pray for that, and let us always hope for the best. Until next week, God
I,
bless
I,
you.
I just I have a quick announcement. I just want to make that to Wallo, if I get your
Okay.
permission. Also want to tell the viewers, if you do have a topic or issues that you want us to talk about, go into the comment section into Dr. Wallo's page or Action Requires page, and just drop those comments. And if you want to be a part of what we do here as a guest, to come in, if you want to, come and talk on issues, yeah, come on, come on with your comments, and then we will definitely invite you on the show to also, bring out your points that you want to make. I just want to say that, Dr. Wallo.
Yeah. And we appreciate to have pastors,
Yeah.
church workers, imams on our show for us to continue to encourage
Mm.
ourselves and encourage God's children uh, everywhere, every part of the world, from Liberia to be able to get involved in your nation's development. And so, yeah, God bless you. Thank you. We'll see you next week by the grace of God. Bye
Thank
bye.
you all. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, sir.